Mheshimiwa, you're telling us about the efforts that are being made at reconciling the Assembly and the Executive after the last impeachment bid. The Deputy President was spearheading these talks. We heard that, he met with the elected MPs plus the Senator. He met with the Governor separately. He met with the MCA separately. There was now supposed to be a meeting between. What was the plan here for negotiations?
Okay, the plan was to make Meru County work. Because you understand also, Eric, that the issues in Meru are both legal and political, in a way. And there is no way a county can function without the executive really working well with the complementing each other, actually, with the executive. So the issue was to see a situation where the executive and the assembly works together towards serving the people of Meru. And actually, it was achieved temporarily. Because now, when after the first impeachment, we reconciled, we went back to work. But now the governor again went back to the issues that we had last time, and disregarding all the laws.
Everything that you had.
Yes.
You are among the leaders of the assembly.
Yes.
Were you on the forefront of these talks?
Yeah,
Did you, as an assembly, have your asks? Did you go for those meetings saying, this is what we'd like as a bare minimum from the governor, or to get an understanding on these particular issues? And what issues were they?
First of all, we wanted to have there was an issue that came so strongly, the issue of maybe an equalization fund. I don't want to call it one fund. The issue of, okay, it's not even a fund.
A development fund.
But a equalization development fund, let me call it. But it's not even a fund because now it does have its own independent management. It's more of a way of equalizing the ones. Because we realize also what's happening in the counties, Eric, is that using governor was voted in some regions, and maybe she was not voted in others. And there is always a tendency of directing resources on where you are voted most, or the areas that you perceive will be your strongholds in future elections. So we wanted to have a mechanism where there is a minimum for everyone, such that now even if you don't agree, maybe your ideologies and the ideologies of the MCA in that ward does not mean that ward doesn't end up marginalized.
Right.
So we agreed on a figure, but now even as we moved, as we moved forward, she started now using it as a tool of maybe micromanaging you, so that now, if you don't agree, if you have different views, maybe the money for your word is not released.
Okay.
You understand? And right now, actually, we have a bill to cure that in the assembly. We have a bill coming. We want to have a certain percentage of the development money, saying that at least for the minimum, we want to pass it in the assembly, so that now at least this minimum, everyone will get this minimum, so that the other money is left at the discretion of the executive.
Okay.
So. Yeah, so we had those issues that we went with them on the negotiating table. Also, she had started grooming the ward administrators. So, if, for example, in the one that I come from, she deployed all the ward administrators to their home wards. For example, the president doesn't agree with the MP, so he appoints a DO, a DCC, a DCC from the same constituency. You understand what that means?
To be a DCC in their constituency.
Now the ward administrator is deployed to your ward, who comes from the ward administrator comes. So the governor uses that ward administrator for all the developments, completely listening the MC. That's why I'm telling you, the issues in Meru are largely political and also legal.
Okay, I hear you saying a couple of things, Mheshimiwa.
Yes.
You've talked about sidelining. You've used that word a couple of times. You also talk about money not going towards projects. At the first impeachment, were you involved in that?
Sorry?
The first impeachment. You were involved in the first impeachment because this is the second time she's being impeached, isn't it?
Yes.
Did you vote for her impeachment?
Did you vote for her impeachment at the first?
Absolutely. Actually, it's only one. The other time, we were 68 out of 69 those who voted for the impeachment.
At that first time, she did allude to, and she said, in some circles that she felt as though she's being witch hunted because something she was very clear about, that she was not going to be involved in any kind of cronyism when it came to then, approving budgets just so that people could then pursue their personal interests. And it seemed it didn't sit well with many members of the county assembly. Can you give your thoughts on that?
I think, okay, on that, you understand that the government controls all the budgets and maybe the policy towards it. For us, we only approve.
Yes.
Now, when you say people want to maybe to misuse county
funds,
resources or county funds, how do they control? And you are the one. How do they misuse when you are the one in control?
Yes,
when you put your control mechanisms in place,
then
how does an MCA come when our right is when our roles are oversight, legislative, and representation? How do I get to call the coffers? That's the question maybe you'd like to ask, because I think that was because you realize when she has accused the MPs of cartelism, she has accused the MCS of cartelism. She has accused the CS Linturi of cartelism. She has accused Kraito of cartelism. She has accused Munya of cartelism.
Okay.
So how comes the whole county, all people are cartels?
All of you are cartel. One
because
cartel.
now what the governor does,
Yes.
Every time she has a problem, she has done anything wrong, and then there's something else, she goes to the people and then, they want to steal your money. I'm protecting you. I'm protecting your money. Right now, the issues we have in our impeachment motion, and maybe you have seen it, you realize that the sister is the PA, the other sister is the bodyguard, then the brother is the security, the husband to the brother is also the other security to the sister, then the brother-in-law, the husband to the sister who is the PA, is the director, external leakages or something. Now, the issues we have in the motion, our county number one is the misuse of county resources. And the family members, they have received a lot of money, which is indicated, maybe catering services. Now, the question we're asking is this, even before we go far, how do you... Is the sister a pre-qualified supply of catering services?
What if she was? Would you still have a problem with that?
Yes, there is a problem. That's an hypothesis.
No, if she, because the question you've asked now is that if she was pre-qualified, if the individual was pre-qualified, but at the same time held the position of being the governor's sister, would you have a problem with it?
Yes, we don't have a problem because now
it's her sister.
Yes, you should not trade with your relative. Now, can I, like in my office as an MCA, can I employ my sister as a PA?
Why not?
Actually, I'm asking why not really. Now that you mentioned, I'm thinking why can't
is it against the law?
It's nepotism.
No, but is it against the law to employ a relative, especially if that relative is qualified? We're just asking.
I get you. Okay, I don't think really it's fair in all standards because now I have so many people who supported me. Okay, I don't know legally, but politically, I don't think.
Okay, because
let me go back to the issue of let me go back to the issue of the issue of the suppliers and all that. I don't think the sister is legally. Actually, the sister is supposed to be pre-qualified to supply or to do contracts with the county.
Okay.
Yes, it's conflict of interest,
and she's not, according to you.
Sorry?
She's not pre-qualified.
She's not pre-qualified and she's doing.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
In the first place, she's not supposed to be pre-qualified. That's why there is a pre-qualification.
Okay.
She's
essentially, she's being accused of single sourcing.
Not single sourcing. It's not single sourcing. It's conflict of interest. Okay. Yeah, it's conflict of interest.
The issue of a conflict of interest, it's always an interesting subject.
Okay.
And it's something that perhaps one can never discuss or talk about conclusively. You've mentioned many things that you say the governor has done wrong.
Yes.
Okay. But she has also accused the MCAs. Do any of her accusations hold water? Because essentially what she's alluding to is that MCAs want her to agree to certain things and she's unwilling to agree to these things.
But is that in the impeachment motion? Because now I think, actually, she has also accused us of being used by the external forces that we are being compelled to impeach her by some maybe forces somewhere. But I think we should limit ourselves to the accusations that we are put in that motion.
List them for us. What are you accusing her of exactly?
Number one is misuse of resources.
Okay.
Because now you can't embezzle county funds using your relatives.
Okay.
You can't or you shouldn't.
You shouldn't. Sorry, you shouldn't. Okay, you can, but you shouldn't because she has done.
Number
two.
You
should. Number two, we have accused her of nepotism. There is there is a very interesting story. The governor was invited to China by by some firm somewhere in China, which does
A private company.
Yes, a private company, which does cancer treatment equipment. So they wanted to partner and do a cancer treatment center in Meru, a cancer center in Meru. So the government received a letter. We have those letters, and she was expected to go there with some technical team, oncologists and all that. So the government didn't go. She sent her sister, the PA, the brother, who is the security, the husband to the sister, and the CC healthy.
Okay.
So the brother is a security officer employed by national government.
Okay. So he is a police officer.
He's a police officer actually.
Okay.
The sister has done something, a diploma. I don't know in what, but it's
PA.
not in health.
Okay.
It's
The
not
PA.
anything to do with it. It is the PA.
But she's the PA to the governor.
Yes, she's the PA to the governor.
Okay.
And also now the husband. And now the
And the CC.
the CC is a pharmacist.
Okay.
So the letter, where we have an issue, the letter written by the county secretary to the devolution to the devolution ministry for approval. He says that this is our technical team
Yes.
to go at the benchmark on cancer treatment machines and all that.
Okay.
Number two, they were supposed to go and benchmark on issues that were machinery. There's somewhere, I think we are being offered some machinery by China government on agriculture machinery and the issues on affordable housing.
Okay.
But the main one was the issue of
the cancer treatment.
Okay.
Okay.
So the question was this, and also the lawyer came there and they tried to argue that there was no county government money lost in the trip. But this was like a donation to the people of Meru. And you cannot argue this. There was no resources lost, because you realize that so even in our development, we receive a lot of money from the donors. So that was a donation in kind also. So the question we are asking is this. We have so many oncologists in the county government of Meru. How do you, if the governor went maybe with this team, maybe it could be understandable. But how would you send your security or PA or near the technical team to go and benchmark on?
Can we look at these counts that are being brought against her? I know you've talked about some of them, and obviously it doesn't sit well with a lot of folks. So, but let's look at the ones that were brought then before. The assembly. There are 7 counts. Gross misconduct is one of them, followed by misappropriation of county funds, usurpation of the law and the constitution, nepotism, which you've talked about extensively, bullying, which is interesting. That's, I think you also talked about that when you talked about when she comes to your wards and things like this. Contempt of court. And then the last one, which is a count, is talking about naming a public road after her husband without following the due process. So those are 7 that have been brought.
Right now.
I mean, that's according to, that's what you impeached her on.
Yes.
Yes,
this
you
time
impeached her on those 7 counts this time round. Yes? Now, of these things, they seem to kind of flow into each other, right? But now, on these counts is what she has been impeached on. And now, you also say that you have, according to the assembly, that you have evidence of each and every one of these things happening, and based on that, she does not fit to serve.
Yes.
I'm going to go back to another thing then, because this thing cannot be void of speculation. People say things that allude to one thing or another. That because she has spoken out in the manner in which she has, and she has done things in the manner in which she has, it hasn't sat well with a lot of people. And that's why now this raft of counts has been thrown at her, because the manner in which she has spoken out and held her position is unpalatable for many. Is that true, or are we sticking to these counts and saying she has done wrong on these counts, and it is because of that she should then be removed from office?
You realize that there are many things that cannot be put in the impeachment motion, because there are many things that you may not be able really to prove legally when you're told to prove. So if you pick the ones you can prove, and that doesn't mean that there are no many others out there.
Oh, so there are more than these 7?
There are more than there are many more than these that you cannot be. You realize there are areas that you even suspect money has been lost. But who has those documents that can prove that the money hasn't been lost? It's her. She cannot give you documents and go and beat her using them. So we have so many other problems that we can talk about, but there are the ones that you can prove.
So on these 7 counts, can I remind you again? On these 7 counts, what you're saying is that there's evidence that has met the evidentiary threshold.
Yes.
Gross misconduct.
Yes.
Misappropriation of county funds. That money has been taken which was supposed to be used for something and has been diverted to something else. Usurpation of the law and the constitution. Nepotism. Bullying. Contempt of court. Naming a public road after her husband without following the due process. All of these things, you have evidence that sits at the gate of each and every one of these counts.
Yes.
Okay.
All of them. These are the ones. The problem we faced last time is that we didn't have a lot of evidence. We didn't have documents. We asked for all the people we are saying they have been employing. For example, one of the usurpation of one of the counts. On the issue of usurpation of the powers of the Public Service Board, that's misuse of office. We approved as an assembly 9 positions of the chief officers. Today the governor has 18
chief officers.
18 chief officers. She has never gone through the Public Service Board, and we actually summoned the Public Service Board in the assembly, and we asked them, now, did you approve these 9? They have written as letters confirming that they don't know actually whether those people are employed by the.
So how do you know that they're employed?
We have their letters. We have their pay slips. We have a letter by the
letter confirming their employment.
Sorry.
You have letters confirming
letter of
their
appointment.
employment.
We have letters of appointment.
From
Who
whom?
from?
No, we have our systems in the.
No. Who appointed them?
sorry,
Who's the
but who wrote
appointing
the letter?
authority?
The county secretary for the governor.
Okay.
He has signed county secretary for the governor. Number 2, there's an issue that has brought a lot of heat in Meru, the issue of traffic marshals. The governor went and collected some people and bought motorbikes using government money. These people were never, positions were never advertised. It was never competitive. And then she employed, we have all those videos, launching them. She called them traffic marshals in Meru to control the traffic and others. When we have an inspectorate unit functioning. So we followed through the public service also. We invited we summoned the Public Service Board on the same, and they said they don't know whether such people exist in Meru. They're on our own, controlling traffic. They are being paid. So when we followed up, we have a payroll. We have their payroll. We have their pay slips. The governor went in the office of the governor, and now she has some of them are indicated as senior supporting staff. Then the others are cleaners. They indicated as cleaners. We have their pay slips. We have the book that they sign every day, a copy of it. So these things should go through the public
Due
service.
process. So due process is the Public Service Board must advertise these positions.
Yes.
And then
What
go
happens?
through the recruitment process.
What happens then?
Who signs the letter of appointments normally in such a process?
It's a public service.
It's the Public Service
Yes,
Board
it's public service.
that does the appointment.
Yes.
So the chair of the Public Service Board is the one that appoints you to office,
No,
or is it the county secretary?
you go through the interview. Then when you go through the interview, you get an appointment letter from the Public Service Board.
From the Public Service Board?
Yes.
Not the county secretary?
Not the county secretary.
So have you summoned the county secretary and asked them
We
why?
summoned him twice. He didn't appear. He ignored. He didn't even read our letter.
Okay.
We summoned the chief of staff. He not appear. And then we realized also something. I think there are some things we cannot put in the impeachment motion.